Let's talk the 5 most disappointing Vikings so far. There's still a chance. All right, howdy ho. Welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. We got Lupagus. I am Onebar. And you know what? It's the bye week. We're going to be talking about the 5 most disappointing Vikings so far through the 2022 season.
Yeah, we may even throw in a bonus one just for shits and giggles. But you're right. It is the mid-season basically for the Vikings. We're in our bye week. So now it's time to take a little look back, see who's maybe not quite lived up to our high expectations so far through the first 6 games of the season. Before we do that, be sure to quench your thirst by grabbing yourself a delicious Lift Bridge brew. Find it in your local liquor store or go to the facility in Stillwater. Absolutely fantastic. And also drop hashtag 8,000. We are, what are we? Like in the 80s away from 8,000
85 away from 8,000 subs. So if you're watching this, hit that sub button because when we get to 8,000, we're giving away a wonderful plethora of items. And to do that, you need to be subbed and hit hashtag 8,000. Also, Lift Bridge. You can hit their online store too. Got some great swag, as you can see.
Absolutely. Fantastic swag. You were all decked out early. Now you just got the hat on. Must have been getting hot.
Got my hat on. Let's talk about the 5 most disappointing Vikings so far. Still early. They could still make a comeback and prove us completely wrong and win our hearts over. But where do you want to start? I think there's a theme to this, and I think it's defense.
Well, yeah, let's start with one I've been harder on than you have. You seem to be a little more sympathetic to this guy. And I think it's because what he replaced. But Shannon Sullivan, to me, has been very disappointing. I thought we were going to get this guy, and he was going to come and give us average to good nickelback play. We've seen
horrible man, by the way.
The high has been average, the low has been very, very bad. So Shannon Sullivan seems to be always a couple steps behind in coverage. And then as far as coming up and making a tackle, this guy doesn't like to hit. It's very clear. Sometimes he just doesn't even try. You saw the Lions game where I think it was TJ Hawkinson. He just said, I'm not even going to even try to touch you. So Mackenzie Alexander was worse, but Shannon Sullivan has not been very good.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a Shannon Sullivan apologist. My thinking with him is just a little bit different. And it's not even so much the Mackenzie Alexander. I think he's definitely had his moments, and he's had some very bad moments. The thing with him is he came to Green Bay, 0 expectations, won a spot, ended up getting playing time. He was kind of that underdog guy where everybody's rooting for. And then in 2020 or whatever, he had like 4 interceptions, graded out very well. But even Packers fans, when he was let go, were not heartbroken. They were like, all right, fine, whatever. So when he came in, I guess, like you said, I was expecting hopefully some average play. But my expectations really weren't that high for him. I wanted him to be good, but is what it is. And Shannon Sullivan appears to be, I don't know, the guy the Packers signed and maybe should just be in a backup role.
Yeah, but who are they going to put there? They're going to try Booth in the slot. They're going to try Caleb Evans. They haven't really tried anybody else, as far as I've noticed. Hell, you can even put Cam Bynum back there and try someone else at safety for some packages. I don't know. Right now, the Vikings seem fine to roll with them. So I think the pain is going to continue at least for a few more games.
Yeah, and I don't think it's as bad as we're making it out to be. I think he's like as far as worries on this defense, he's not that high. He's just officially disappointing so far.
All right. Well, who else you got?
Well, let's stick on the defensive side of the ball because that's where most of these are, and let's go with one that hurts our heart. There's a couple on the here that'll hurt our hearts to say, but Eric Hendricks, just not the same guy. And we talked about this in a previous episode. Is it the switch from the 3-4? Is he not comfortable with it? Is it the fact that we're just not going to see as many splashy plays because he's not the only guy in the middle? Don't know what it is. His coverage grade sucks. Usually his coverage is his bread and butter. It's been horrible. And he's just not – usually you're used to seeing 54 in every damn play, and we're not seeing that.
Yeah, when you're seeing him, it's again, he's making these tackles late. They're getting yardage before he's making the tackle. He's not making them up on the line. Is he not reading the blocks right? Are they asking him to do some different stuff? And then the coverage – in the past, he's been on a running back, a tight end. We've seen him covering wide receivers down the field a couple of times here. So I don't know if it's the scheme that's not working or what his assignments are. There's something off with Eric Hendricks. And, there was times where he's just taken over games. We have not seen that. He's been the heart and soul of this defense for the last couple of years. And I don't think we can say that so far through 6 games for Eric Hendricks.
Well, and the other side of things is just us being new to this 3-4. Maybe this is him. Maybe he's not going to be that splashy play guy. Maybe he's not going to grade out well, but he's doing some little things that behind the scenes that we're not realizing, where other people are. Darius Smith getting all these pressures. Maybe Kendricks has something to do with that. We don't know, but damn it, I want to see this man make some splashy plays.
I once did little things behind the scenes, and they asked me to stop.
Yeah.
Please stop what you're doing.
Gross. Very gross.
Let's stick with the linebacking core. Let's go to Jordan Hicks, our big free agent signing that we got from Arizona. Everybody was excited about this guy. Tackling machine, perfect fit for this defense, great in coverage. He's got a lot of tackles. Jordan Hicks has that going for him.
He does. Again, horrible in coverage, a big old liability. Hicks, again, another tough one. I mean, everybody wants to see more Brian Asamoah, and at this point, it's really tough to argue that. I don't think you should unseat Hicks by any means, but we need to see more of him out there. And Hicks, being that crafty vet, I don't know. He's missing tackles. I just expected him to do the little things well, and we're not really seeing that.
Yeah, I was expecting him just to not have these misses. I mean, like you saw against the Dolphins last week, a wide open shot at the quarterback, completely whiffs. Seems like he's whiffing a lot. I think he's left a lot of plays on the field, and to me, that's the biggest disappointment when it comes to Jordan Hicks.
You know, it's not a disappointment. The Vikings are 5-1, and all of these disappointments, and we're still whooping ass. That said, let's go to the offense side of the ball. There's one guy on offense here.
Yeah, it is. This tight end, Irv Smith Jr. Again, we get him back. Kevin O'Connell's offense with Jefferson, Thielen, Kirk Cousins. I mean, we were expecting huge things from Irv Smith Jr. What have we seen? We've seen some
9,000 yards receiving.
Some fumbles. We've seen 4 catches for 7 yards. Irv Smith Jr. not exactly making his return a triumphant one.
You know what? And he's so close. He's so close to being the other way around. Like, if he would have made that catch, it would have been a touchdown. That he had another drop as well. If he didn't fumble, he's just not making the most of his opportunities. If he was making the most of his opportunities and he hasn't had a ton, we'd be saying the complete opposite. Like, why aren't they getting Irv the ball? Get this man the ball. Get him the ball. Get him the ball. But the limited times we've seen him, he stepped on his dick. That's the issue. We know Irv's athletic. We know he has tons of potential. He's just having a really tough go at it this year.
And there's a couple plays, too. I mean, you look at the plays that were called for him when his numbers called against Miami. I mean, there wasn't like a lot of room for him to run there. So are they expecting him to make a move and go? I mean, I almost think that's designed into these plays. If he's not making that first man miss, and that's kind of his job in that play, that's a huge concern. Other than that, though, I don't see like those plays they called. I mean, 4 for 7. There wasn't really a whole lot of options. It wasn't like they're looking for him down the field or anything.
Yeah, it's just very glaring. The issues he's had have been very glaring and have come at very opportune moments. He's just got a case of the yips. And if you ever golfed the Lupagus has had the yips his entire life on the golf course. And Irv, he's gonna shape these yips.
Yips and nips. That's the way I golf.
All right, we got one more. Defense.
You got one more. I'm gonna throw a bonus one in there too. Let's go with Harrison Smith, Hitman. Just not, having a Hitman type of season as the old age finally caught up to this guy. I think we did see him play like we expected to against the Dolphins, but that's really been the only time this year that he's had a game where he is the Hitman.
And remember, expectations for Hitman are like top 5 safety in the league. So we realize he's making some big plays. He's got a couple interceptions. He's making plays, but he's just like Kendricks. He's not the Hitman of old. And maybe that is because he is old and we've seen the best behind him. He's still better than a lot of safeties in the league. But right now, PFF's got him ranked as the 37th best safety in the league. His run defense is shit. His grades are anyways. His coverage is crap. It's weird. And again, this goes back to, is he making up for the fact that our secondary has kind of sucked? Is he trying to do too much? Don't know. But we got to start to realize that he's not getting any younger.
No, and I mean, this is it should be expected. I mean, the guy's getting toward the end of his career. Play is going to start to decrease. Can you imagine this team
without Hitman?
I know, but you miss. I mean, remember the times he had like 12 tackles, a forced fumble. I mean, he'd come up flying the line of scrimmage, make the tackle every single time. And we've seen him missing on those. And yeah, I do think he's back there trying to control like what Cam Bynum's supposed to do. I mean, he's definitely helping out the young safety there. So you've seen him doing that. That shows up on some tape that I've seen floating around on Twitter and stuff. So I do think maybe he's trying to take on more of a thinking role, maybe not reacting enough. But yeah, we'd like to see the old Hitman show up and take over games like he has in the past.
All right. Well, Lupagus has his bonus one. If you've watched any of our episodes, we all know who it is. So we'll just let him roll.
I don't know how you cannot include the kicker, Greg Joseph. 69% on the year. Again, Vikings playing close games. Why are some of these games close? Missed field goals. He missed 2 against the Bears, missed a couple against the Lions, misses some extra points at key moments of games. The Vikings are going to have comfortable wins. They need their kicker to start making these field goals. And now I think it's to the point where Kevin O'Connell has to think, if he's 49-yard field goal, maybe you just start going for those kind of things instead of trusting like a Greg Joseph until he earns that trust back. And I know I'm kind of going on a ramble here, but what makes this the most frustrating for me is how damn good this guy was in the preseason, hitting from 65 over and over again. He bamboozled us is what he did. So far.
Yeah, it was all the hype coming into it. It was they gave him the job. He earned it. He needs to do better. There's no doubt about that. Viking, it's Vikings-esque. He's gonna miss a kick to lose a game this year, and we'll see what happens after that. But he's gonna make some big ones too, because we're 5-1. Let's go.
We are. Winning despite the kicker struggles. You love it. All right. So that is it. Those are 5, maybe 6 disappointing players through 6 games for the Vikings. Let us know who else has disappointed you in the comments below. #8000, #LiftBridge. And remember this fact really surprised me here. You guys are really going to like this one. Velociraptors are only about the size of domesticated turkeys in real life, far smaller than they are portrayed in films.
Well, that is.